Windsor-based Backyard Bats is scoring big in the baseball world with its specially made homespun bats. And ever since getting the green light from MLB players, their bats have now become the favorites. And the latest to be added to the list is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. himself. Okay, joining us live this morning, carrying one of those bats, Backyard Bats, one of the founders, Ryan Lepanzi. Ryan, thank you for joining us this morning. Congratulations on the success of these stories that literally, Ryan, started in your backyard.
Yeah, thank you so much. They actually started in Paul Lemanti, my business partner's backyard. Yeah, hand spinning wood bats 20 years ago. I used his wood bats as well. And we've been professionally certified for about 6 months now, and we can't believe how many, superstars have started to use our bats. It's been very exciting.
So, Ryan, what is special or different about the Backyard Bats?
I think it really comes to the craftsman and Paul and how he's selecting the wood, how we're storing the wood, how we're so precise about cutting these models for these players. They can feel it in their hands. When you have baseball players making the tool, it's a different level.
Right. I mean, you know what you needed to feel like when you're swinging the bat at the plate there. Ryan, I've got to ask, last year all the talk was Torpedo bats. Everyone was sort of getting in on that. What's the comparison? Are you like that? Can you sort of explain that for people who don't understand bats as well as the average?
I'm actually holding the Torpedo bat right now.
Okay.
We made for DJ LeMahieu. Basically taking the mass off of the end and shifting it more so that sweet spot shifts for the players. As players' velocity is getting higher and higher, it's harder to hit these pitchers. So you want the ball to be able to travel more and be able to, keep that inside swing. And that's what the Torpedo really is designed for those hitters.
Okay, so it's more of a design than a brand. Okay, I didn't even appreciate that, Ryan. Let me ask you this. Bats, you're individually, you don't just want to, if I'm Bo Bichette, I'm not picking up Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s bat here. What is the sort of intricacies like of making a bat for a superstar like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who is known for his prowess at the plate?
Yeah, understanding what barrel size he needs. Everyone's hands are different too, so the handle's really important on every player. It feels a little different. And being able to make that feel comfortable in their hands so that they can get the bat through the zone as fast as possible. And it's this tinkering process with these players. And that's what excites us, is being able to, what do you feel here and how do you want this change, and being able to do that for them. That's the best part of our job.
And I think it's pretty significant that a Canadian company is doing this, Ryan. I mean, when you think of baseball, you have baseball bats like Louisville Slugger. That's kind of like the sort of standard when you think of a baseball bat. How significant is it in the industry now that a Canadian company based, started 20 years ago in a backyard is now putting bats in big leaguers' hands?
Yeah, it's I can't quantify, to be honest. We had one of our bats inducted into the Canadian Baseball Hall of Fame a few weeks ago, and you're walking through there and you see a bat from Babe Ruth, right? Yeah. So it's like I can't wrap my head around as a baseball fan and player that we have a bat that's in the same hall as a Babe Ruth bat, right? So it's kudos to Paul and just his ability as a master bat craftsman, and we're trying to take this thing to the moon.
That is amazing. I've got to ask you this question too, though, Ryan. You're Windsor-based, but you've got Michigan operations as well here. We're in the middle of this sort of tariff trade war, going back and forth. Is your company, Backyard Bats, at all impacted by what's going on with the trade issues between our two countries?
We have not, and that's why strategically we placed on both sides of the border, so that we can service both countries effectively, no matter what happens, right? So obviously we hope, that these things go away eventually. Yeah. But from a business perspective, that's why we strategically, we are in Detroit and in Windsor.
Okay, Ryan, I've got to ask you one last question. The Toronto Blue Jays are on top of the American League right now. Your take on this team this year, because it's been quite a story so far.
Yeah. So I'm pretty old school. I'm a big averages guy, right? So hitting for average, and baseball's really gone to just straight power nowadays. And what I was there last Friday watching the Jays, and I really love the way that they are playing the game right now. They're not trying to just yank balls out of the stands right now, and it's showing, right? They're getting lots of hits. And it's fun to run around and chase players around the bases, right? So I think they're going to have a really good season. I'm excited for them. Yeah,
it's exciting indeed. Okay, Ryan Lepanzi, Backyard Bats co-founder. Appreciate the time this morning. Congratulations on your success, and let's keep it going. Great stuff.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
Take
Ryan.
care.